In today's video, I'm going to show you how we beat Ground War Assault Battle for 3 stars using no galactic legends. And I know just how important it is to be earning those rewards as frequently as possible to help build out our rosters at a faster pace. Getting this done at 3 stars means you'll just hit that sim button and save you time down the line. Let's break this down. Even in the current state of today's meta, with galactic legends running amok everywhere, and 2 of them being Jedi, it is still important for us to be running Jedi Knight Luke's leadership. And that's simply because the enemy that we face in this assault battle have absolutely ridiculous speed. You will not catch them. So you need to be able to control that speed. His leadership, once he takes his first turn, means that he sets the enemy's speed to his base speed, and then any additional speed bonuses that he gets, they will not be getting. We also need to have his leadership ability in order to make sure that we start the next round with a turn from Jedi Knight Luke. So this Heroes Arise ability is absolutely pivotal. The main things that we need to do in order to get this to work is run that Jedi Knight Luke lead and manage our cooldowns correctly so that we can go into every wave with the correct abilities of cooldown and the enemy's speed immediately reduced all the way. So I'm just going to explain real quickly why we're using each individual unit here. Shakti is a very good unit in so much as she can heal, dispel buffs, cause supports, and she can pass offense up as well as dispelling effects on the enemy team. Very, very useful. Jedi Knight Revan is almost mandatory in this particular assault battle simply because you need to take that first turn. The opening barrage of attacks that you get in wave 1 before you can do anything, you need to be able to survive. So long as they do not attack Jedi Knight Revan out of the gate and they kill someone else, it will trigger his sacrifice ability so that, perhaps Grandmaster Yoda takes a bonus turn or Hermit Yoda takes a bonus turn, and then you can lead with Jedi Knight Luke's ability, Heroes Arise, to give him a bonus turn so that he will then slow down the enemy team. Grandmaster Yoda is so clutch here. He is able to steal enemy buffs, which there are some incredibly useful buffs for us to steal, and then spread them to the entire team. It's also very, very useful for circling through turns so that we can get to Jedi Knight Luke's leadership Heroes Arise ability much faster than normal. Hermit Yoda is a great source of additional damage, provides healing, provides cleansing of debuffs, and passes us additional foresight. You can swap out a number of these characters if you so choose. If you have the likes of JMK or if you have JML, certainly think about replacing Shakti or maybe Hermit Yoda. I would almost suggest that Jedi Knight Revan can be replaced if you are running a GL, but I wouldn't recommend it. Let's start the footage. Okay, so coming out of the gate, the first thing and most important thing that we need to rely on is that Jedi Knight Revan cannot die from the opening barrage. Ideally, you want nobody to die from the opening barrage. If you can get somebody to not trigger Savior, even better, but it can't always be done. So, when you get your first turn, you want to use Luke's Heroes Arise ability to give him a bonus turn and stun the enemy team. This shock buff that the enemy has can be stolen and provides insane levels of bonus protection. Try to make sure that your Hermit Yoda, Grandmaster Yoda, is stealing that and spreading it to the rest of your team. That will ensure survivability. The most important thing that you want to try and get done when you're doing this is making sure that the last attack on your wave is using Jedi Knight Luke's ability Heroes Arise. That will ensure that he gains a bonus turn and will move immediately in the next wave. Okay? Now, I don't think I actually did this in the opening wave, and I nearly died as a result of this, but we were able to stabilize quite quickly. You can see here I'm deliberately not getting rid of that shock debuff off of that B2 because I'm hoping to steal it again so that I can spread it to the rest of my team and give them that additional level of survivability that is incredibly useful. So all I'm doing now is managing the cooldowns. You can see I've still got 6 turns left on Heroes Arise, Jedi Knight Luke's leadership ability. We want to make sure that we can get back round to that as quickly as possible to finish off this B2 with that ability. So I'm just biding my time here. Grandmaster Yoda, is so useful at reducing the cooldowns on that ability. Note that Jedi Knight Revan cannot use it because it is incompatible with Luke's kit. So I'm just trying to get his health just a little bit lower, and I'm just trying to take my time here. I didn't call in an extra person because I wanted to make sure I didn't kill the B2 battle droid there, and we're just healing up. Absolutely could have killed him there with the event special ability. So I'm having a look here, and I feel like, do I go ahead and pass the ability? I decided to take a risk here and not use it. It's not worth it, guys. These guys have got 2000 speed. Look at that. They've triggered Savior on Shaq T. So we're just going to use the event special ability, get round to Jedi Knight Luke's turn again. As you can see, they are still taking turns here, even though Luke has got 100% TM. So this is part of the problem. We got a little bit lucky there that they didn't finish off Shaq T. All right, so now it's a game of reduce the cooldowns, get Luke's abilities lower on cooldowns once again so that we can get the stun going into the next wave. It's the other element that we really need to manage whilst doing this. So there is an event special ability as well that will give you a bonus turn. I just used it there, gives you offense up and a bonus turn. You want to try and save that for Jedi Knight Luke to try and reduce the cooldowns on his special abilities. We always want to make sure that we finish a round using Heroes Arise and then going into the next wave using his AoE stun. So I'm just going to fast forward through this little bit here to get to the end of this wave. And here we are, going into the last part of this wave now, just one B1 battle droid left. We're just timing our attacks here. I'm seeing if we can do it without having to call the ability, but ultimately it's not looking likely. So we're going to use the event special ability here, call in the mass assist, start the next wave with full rounds of TM across the board. Tell me I'm going to do that. Apparently not. That's not what I did. But I realise now, oh, we might actually just basic it, because Luke here has basically got full turn meter right now. So I called in Jedi Knight Revan. That's giving us a little bit of extra healing. We should start this next wave with basically full TM, but you can see how fast they were. We had about 95% TM on Jedi Knight Luke, and they still took 3 turns. That's just how dangerous these guys are when it comes to their speed. So we're just going to cycle through the turns now, use Luke's special ability. I'm focusing down on a B2 Super Battle Droid here because they are the most important units to get rid of at the start, more important than the other droids. But we should be able to manage these guys incredibly well just by cycling through our turns, using Heroes Arise, and then stunning them with Repulse. So, using Grandmaster Yoda's ability to hop and then spread buffs, we'll cycle through 2 or 3 turns very, very quickly. Jedi Knight Revan then can also pass over to Luke to reduce his turns to make this just a little bit easier. Mass Swarm, and now we'll take out a second B2. I'm quite comfortable here using another Mass Stun because I feel like it should be relatively straightforward for us to get back round to another Mass Repulse from our boy Jedi Knight Luke. Spreading round the Master's training here, giving additional offense, defense, potency, and something to my allies. Hermit Yoda is very, very useful. So we're going to hop and spread. Oh, okay, we don't have the spready available, but it's okay. So bonus turn once again, and we can use Heroes Arise once again. This helps us chew through the enemy team incredibly quickly. I'm going to skip ahead just so we get to the last unit once again. And here we are with just the shield droid left, just biding our time, resetting cooldowns, and trying to make sure that we go into the next wave with full turn meter on Jedi Knight Luke. So it looks like I'm just trying to bide it a little bit. Just a basic. And here we go. This must be where we use our event special ability, surely. I'm deciding, but I really do think... Oh, well, we could try and kill him because Luke has full turn meter. Well, we've got no choice now. We have to use the Heroes Arise special ability now. So this means when we go into this next wave, we've got immediate bonus turn on Jedi Knight Luke. This wave in particular, you absolutely have to, unequivocally, kill Grievous before he really gets to do anything. Because he can set out mass target locks and I believe death mark across the board, so you don't want him taking any turns whatsoever. There we go, so we get the mark off with Jedi Knight Revan. Very important to have his cooldowns off as well. And then I'm just trying to make sure that I can kill Grievous before he does anything. So we've cycled round to another mass assist there, and then I'm going to look to try and kill any one of the outside droids apart from, obviously, Magna Guard. Now this is because those guys can actually deal some significant damage here. Those commando droids do have some rather nasty abilities, and they can stay around for quite some time. So we want to try and whittle them away before they can really start taking turns. Just using basics here, and keeping that foresight up. Again, we're trying to manage our cooldowns, try to cycle through these abilities, using all of our special abilities to get round to Heroes Arise, to call that in, to decrease the cooldowns on Jedi Knight Luke. Let's skip ahead to the end of this wave. And here we go, the commando droid, last man standing as usual. We're just going to use Jedi Knight Luke's special ability, I believe here, to call in everybody and give him a bonus turn going into wave 5 most of the way through. And if you've reached this point and not lost anybody, you are probably in good standing. The most important thing to do now is to manage the cooldowns on Jedi Knight Luke to make sure that he's always got that repulse available. I think I miss it on one of the waves, but we're still able to recover somewhat. So using the event special ability there to gain a bonus turn on Jedi Knight Luke to try and decrease his cooldowns. These soldiers actually die incredibly quickly compared to the other waves. That's why it's so hard to ensure that you've got repulse available going into the next wave. More important than repulse though is to just make sure that you have you finish the wave using Heroes Arise. So I think we actually needed to get Luke one more turn before using this. That's where I made the mistake. If I'd have waited until Luke's turn there to use it, he would have decreased his cooldowns once more, and we would have had repulse available here. But you can see that ultimately it doesn't actually matter, because the enemies have been slowed. You can see that blue speed symbol above their head. They have been slowed to Luke's base speed, so they don't have 2000 plus speed anymore. Skipping ahead once again. And there we go. You all know it by now. Finishing off the wave using Heroes Arise. Boom, bada boom, bada boom. Jedi Knight Luke starts wave 7 with his turn meter full. We can get the stun, and then it's just a case of managing those cooldowns once again. Wave 7 is relatively easy. Wave 8, on the other hand, is incredibly easy. If you've got there with all your characters alive, which is the whole purpose of doing this, then you should be in very good standing now to make sure you get those 3 stars. Just going to skip ahead once more. And there we go, we take out the shield generator droid with our Heroes Arise, giving us maximum turn meter going into the final wave. Now, I like to prioritize when we go into this last wave in just killing units as fast as possible. Asajj is, from my experience, incredibly squishy in this, so I find it very easy to focus her down out the gate, and then you don't have to worry about additional attacks, dispels, that sort of thing. So we should be able to get rid of, I believe, 2 people before they start taking any turns. Note that this Dooku is actually immune to stun. That's why he's actually going to be taking some turns. I take a calculated risk here by doing this, but I wanted to spread the tenacity up before Dooku takes his turn to make sure that he can't stun any of my guys. So we're about to kill Asajj here, take that bonus turn. Asajj is gone. After this, I like to focus down Poggle because he always seems to be the next weakest unit. I'm leaving the shield generator alive in the hopes that he might use his special ability to send that shock buff around his allies, that we can then steal it with Grandmaster Yoda and provide additional levels of survivability to our team. Nute Gunray is the 3rd unit to go down. Note this is a different Nute Gunray to the kit that we have in the game. It is an older version of his kit and it is very manageable, doesn't have extortion and does not actually revive, I believe. So we've got round to another stun. The enemy has barely done anything to us, and we are able to get rid of Nute Gunray. No revive, thankfully. So I'm thinking, who do I go for here? I decide to go after Dooku because we could get the blind on him so he misses his attack. I tried to go for a turn meter reduction. We managed to land that, and of course Grandmaster Yoda, had foresight, and it's all very well and good. With Dooku gone, they don't have any damage left on the board anymore. You could quite likely just put this on auto at this point and still win this particular match. Now, I will say about this, guys, is there is flexibility here. Jedi Knight Luke's leadership is still mandatory, though. You must use it. You can go in with the likes of JKR. You could probably take in the likes of GK or even Jolee to have him revive some of your units. But provided you have this core setup of having GMY, Jedi Knight Luke, and Jedi Knight Revan, I believe with a little bit of luck, anybody can get this done, provided you've got decent relic investment levels so you're dealing enough damage. When it comes to modding, you can choose to mod your Luke for absolutely no speed, but mine's actually rocking around 230 speed now and about 11k offense. Alright, fantastic. I hope this video was useful to you guys. I hope that with my help, you will be able to 3-star this so you don't have to worry about it in the future. I will be putting out more guides for these assault battles in the future, so keep your eyes peeled for that. If you haven't already, like this video, pretty please. It took me some time to do it, and consider subscribing to your boy Scrybe, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace out, and may the Force be with you.